the Los Angeles Lakers select Vlade Divac from Belgrade, Yugoslavia.
The smile on general manager Jerry West's face on draft day 1989 said it all. Because waiting there for the Lakers was a prototype NBA center. You know what I'm talking about. 7'1", big body, can shoot, rebound, run the floor. But the surprise was he wasn't coming from Georgetown, Syracuse, or UCLA. But would you believe Yugoslavia?
There was not too much trust in European players back then, you know, and you had to do a lot of work and a lot of, you know, adoption, you know, between the European basketball and NBA.
KJ.
No, KH.
KH.
J.
Obviously, language was big trouble for me because, you know, back then I didn't speak any word.
Dino, nice play.
The perception of the European players was absolute zero.
Big fourth quarter for Dino Raja.
We had no respect by anybody. Nobody believed that Europeans can play, and it was a very skeptical situation.
Back to Peja, breakout to the rack. Power jam on the right.
I think back in the 90s, there was a perception that they were finesse players.
Boy, did he throw that down with emphasis.
But they didn't like the physicality. You know, so in some respects, they were kind of frowned upon. Not so much from executives, just from players.
What we've learned through the years is that these are tough-minded guys.
Oh, baby!
They'll spill their guts out for you. You don't need a lot of money to go to a court or a gym and play basketball. Kind of reminds me of a kid growing up in the Bronx or on a farm in Indiana. You know, that kid from Belgrade or up in the mountains of Croatia. As long as he's got a basket and a ball, they can go out there and shoot.
Carroll gets a look. Hits it! And Macedonia erupts!
I was welcomed over there, and the first game you feel like, am I gonna score the first shot? And I was lucky, I scored the first, the second, so I say, okay, I can play here.
Everybody getting into the air.
We didn't know what the European style of basketball was, but eventually I think the league started to change. They knew how to dribble, pass, shoot, had a good sort of understanding of how to play.
Lillard lobs for Nurkic. What a play!
Here in America, if you're big, you go down on one end with the big fellas, you work on layups. If you're small, you go to the other end. And what they did was to show us that there will be guys that are 7 foot and that can shoot and that can move and are expected to do what guards do. And that's something that I always admire from players that came from overseas because they had a wonderful skill set.
We all proved that we can actually play.
I was a big guy. Usually with the coaches would work on the big guy moves, but our coaches exposed me to be a point guard, to be a shooting guard. So basically, I developed my skills, not just as a big guy, but, you know, the small guy too.
At the start of the 2018 season, there were 16 players from what was once Yugoslavia in the NBA, out of a combined population of 21 million. There were just 48 other NBA players from the rest of Europe, and a population of over 700 million. Montenegro has 2 players out of a population of 500,000, while Italy also has 2 players, and it's a country of 60 million people.
It started with Vlade and Peja Stojakovic, and obviously when Drazen came over. And now, outside of the United States, I think you can easily make the argument that more great players have come from the former Yugoslavia than any other region of the world.